That music means it's time for me to get up out of this seat and walk over to the other side of the studio, the expansive Studio 9. Bruce Boudreau's here. We're going to chat hockey. Hi, Bruce.
Hey, Jay, how are you today?
I'm great. We have to address your footwear.
Yeah, well, you know what? The last time here, I forgot my jacket.
Yep.
So we borrowed one.
Yes, we did.
And when I went today,
Yep.
I forgot my shoes.
That happens.
So, but these are cool blue shoes, and I wore a white shirt, so that's why I'm wearing my white socks.
I love the combo, and I feel like you've got a bit of street style going.
Yeah, but what street? I don't know. It's not a good one.
Okay.
It's a lonely one, and it's a dead end.
It's a lonely dead-end street. Do you agree with 3 games for Connor McDavid?
You know what? I don't really. I mean, usually, I'm fine with the suspensions and when you cross-check to the head, but he's being mauled, okay? To me, it's a hockey thing. He's trying to get away, and and it was high on Garland and everything. But, I mean, the penalty should have been called 10 seconds before. If that clip had been longer, and I don't think he would have done it if, quite frankly, if he knew they were going to get a power play. But there was only 2.5 seconds left in the game or something. So, yeah. But I think he's frustrated, and I think he's frustrated not only because of things like this, but I mean, he's used to being the top scorer in the league all the time, and he's not having as much fun at that this year, even though the team's doing really good.
Yep.
And I think when things like this happen to him, he gets a little frustrated.
Do you agree with Chris Pronger? I thought had an interesting take where he said, I liked it. I liked it from McDavid. I like him establishing space and standing his ground.
Well, he's got to if they're not going to call it. And he's not getting the points. If he was getting the points, I don't think he'd be as frustrated as he is right now. But you could see him. He did the chicken wing the other day. He's getting frustrated that there's less penalties even now being called against him. I think a little bit of frustration gets in there. But you're right. I mean, I don't mind him standing up for himself and doing something. You don't want him suspended because you want to watch him play. But I mean, if people are hitting. Going after you and doing that, if you don't stand up for yourself, they're going to continue to do it, and then you'll never get away from it.
Yep, that's fair. Now, over the weekend, it appeared one of your former teams, the Vancouver Canucks, were on the verge of a deal to send JT Miller to the New York Rangers. That deal apparently fell through. Canucks GM Patrick Allvin addressed the Miller situation Monday.
It's very unfortunate. I feel bad for a lot of players when you're reading some rumors out there. I'm proud of the guys that they're capable of blocking a lot of noises out and just go out and play. We want to create an environment where they feel safe and trusted, and I think the players have galvanized and played extremely well under the circumstances. And I'm not going to go in and comment on any specific names or anything. My job is always to listen to see what makes this club better today, tomorrow, and for the future.
During your time as head coach of the Canucks, that was sort of when this all seemed to start, but you've managed 1 million dressing rooms. Was that strained relationship between Miller and Pettersson, did that stand out to you more than other strained relationships between players in the past?
I mean, it was more visible because of the media, I think.
Right.
But I mean, to me, look, they're both fabulous hockey players, and if they trade either one of them, that team is getting a genuine guy that can put them over the top. I'm telling you, I love both of them, but they're both different personalities too. And but they never look at Miller had 99 points that year, and I think PD had 102, and they played on the same line. So they weren't going probably out to dinner.
Right.
They weren't coming over at each other's house. But I mean, every team I've been on, and I've been in the business for 50 years now. I mean, there's guys that don't really hang out with other guys or get along with other guys. I think the media, quite frankly, in Vancouver has blown this way out of proportion, and I think they did it because they weren't winning at the rate that they were winning last year. So we got to find out, why isn't Pettersson scoring? And then when Miller goes out for those 10 games, Petey had 15 points, and then he comes back and he slows in, and everybody's making mountains out of molehills. If they would let these two guys play, I think they could coexist. And I mean, if I was coaching in the NHL, I'd be the first one phoning, get either one of those guys on my team. I love them.
That's fair. Toronto Maple Leafs were booed off the ice after a 4-1 loss to the Dallas Stars. Since then, William Nylander scoring on a big clip. Austin Matthews looks fantastic. What does it say about the Leafs Stars that they respond to a rough game like that with that kind of production?
Well, and they always have this year, but teams are going to go through rough patches. The Leafs' rough patch is 3 games. I mean, that's not bad. You know, I mean, because every team is going to go through it. I mean, the only team that never went through it, it seems, in my recollection right now, is the Bruins of a couple years ago. Never did that, and then the '78 Canadiens. I mean, but everybody else will go through a little bit and this is the time of year you sometimes go through it. But the Leafs, when they go through it, their stars come back with a vengeance. And I mean, tonight was a perfect time for that. But I mean, Nylander has scored in 3 straight games. Matthews has scored in 4 straight games. I mean, they really pick it up when one of the so-called stars is out of the lineup. Now it's Tavares out of the lineup, and everybody else has picked it up. Marner got 3 points tonight. I mean, there's nothing wrong with these Leafs. I've said it before all year long. They're going to be there at the end. They're going to be a really tough out, and their stars, well, when they come to play, they're really tough to beat.
Leafs are next in action against the Blue Jackets Wednesday. How about the Blue Jackets this year? What a story, right?
It's a tremendous story.
It's amazing, considering everything they've gone through.
They've gone through so much, and it just goes to show like how much skill they really have that nobody ever hears about, because I mean, who hears about Columbus?
Right.
You know, I mean, they've got their little pocket of fans, and that's it. But I mean, Dean Evison has done a great job with them. And so I mean, they're always a tough out, and they lost their last game. I don't know if they've lost 2 in a row in a long time again. And the history tells me they've given Leafs problems in the past, and especially in the playoffs. So I think again, it's going to be a really tough game. But I tell you, I like the Leafs. When they want to play, they're as good as anybody.
That'll be Wednesday against the Blue Jackets. Bruce, I'm inspired. I might rock the white socks and sneakers tomorrow.
Yeah, wait till my wife sees this. She's going to shoot me.
We won't show her.